welcome to Altering with Melly. I'm Melly, and for today we are going to be doing something so special today. So special. There's a million videos on how to do this, but there isn't, at least that I know of. Buttons. Alright, buttons. There's 3 million videos out there that teach you how to sew buttons, right? I'm sure nobody here needs to have another video showing them how to sew on a button. But let me show you how to sew on a button. But before that, this skirt is actually, it's very cute. All right, it's a wraparound skirt, and I need to move the button, okay? So I'm going to show you a quick fitting on how to move your buttons so that stuff can fit you properly. All right, so for today, for the fitting part, you're gonna need some chalk and your pins. Well, this is a metal pin holder that I have. They're magical. You should invest in one if you don't have one. And if you want to get one, I got mine from Wawak, WAWAK.com. They have these, at least in the United States. I don't know if anybody like overseas is gonna be watching this, but at least in the US, that company has a magnetic pin holder if you're on the market for one, and they're within a reasonable price. Okay, now that that's all out of the way, let's move along down. All right. Okay, so I'm just, there's also a button on the inside. I don't know if I'm gonna have to move that or not. Okay, so as you can see, I put that one button on. Let me see, where do I want to put that? And also too, I put this over, I have like these velvet leggings on. When you're in the fitting process, if you want to put a skirt on when doing a fitting, do leggings. You can do leggings, but don't do pants. Don't do pants. That will be too thick. That will alter how this will fit. So for this purpose, for this video, me having leggings on underneath, it's also it's okay. It's okay. All right, so naturally, okay, so if I pull this, that's where you see, okay, let me just put this on here, huh? You don't want that. You don't want that tension. You want it to sit naturally. Like the skirt is naturally where I need it to be. So we're moving the button, okay? So I'm gonna hold this where it wants to go naturally. Again, like, let me move it down a little more. There we go. So that's where the button is. That's how much we're moving it over. So I'm just gonna pin this in place for the moment here. And also too, that kind of has a little, I'm just gonna, you see that? Boop, boop, how that disappears. Again, naturally, that you kind of want that to go away. But again, you don't want to be like, gosh, I'm pulling the thing. We're gently moving stuff around. And then also too, I'm gonna hold this straight, have this here, and boom, because that is also where that button is. And here's where the buttonhole is, okay? That's where my chalky is gonna come into place. I'm gonna go right in where the hole is. I'm gonna mark it this way. Also gonna mark this one right in there as well. But also right where that middle, how do I do this? At the middle of this button as well, kind of want to make a mark up and down. In this one as well. Where's the middle of that? All right, let me check and see. Boop. Yeah, you can kind of see that there is an up and an across notion. Okay, that'll come handy. Move this over. Again, you can kind of see that. So we're going up and we're going across. Okay, and that's it for the fitting process. That's all we need to do. Now it's going to be for the hardest part in the world, the sewing the button. All right, so welcome to the table over here. I got you at a different angle. Hopefully that'll be okay for today. So first things first, we're gonna need some scissors, a needle, and that's it. So this already has some thread in it, but I need some black thread. So I'm gonna get some black thread out. And I'm stealing it from my sewing machine at the moment. Okay. Oh, you'll also need a seam ripper because we're going to take these buttons off, don't we? Okay, so the amount of thread that how I usually thread my thread, you're going to want to have 4 strands. Now, what I mean by this, so I've already, there are 2 strands here going into the eye, all right? There we go. So from here, I'm going to double those 2, and it'll end up being 4. And everything to be nice and even. And I'm gonna bring that together. And I'm just gonna make a knot. How do you make a knot? You just kind of, you know, do this, put a little spit on it if you need to put some real TLC in there. And I'll just knot it into the hole. And that'll make it nice and bootyful. Bootyful. Alright. So that's the thread. That's how you know, the amount of thread you need, your needle and all that stuff. So, now, with the seam ripper, we're taking this button off here. So, you know, just take that off. Clean up all this here. I'm going to do it to both buttons. Cleaning them up. And that's it. So all buttons are kind of sewn in one of 2 ways. They're either sewn across or up and down. It looked like that one was up and down, but I prefer sewing my buttons like this. So that's what I'm gonna do. So today too, we did the cross up and down. So we're gonna start with this first one. All right, and it looked like that was sewn down. Whenever you sew your buttons on, pay attention to any extra parts that are around that could get sewn into your button. Should they get sewn into your button or not? That just depends on the situation. That just depends on the design of the garment. I don't want my buttonhole sewn into this here, so I'm pinning it back. Okay, so with this cross part right in the middle, right here, that's where I want the middle of my buttonholes to go. So I'm gonna come here, put my needle in there, and again, I want to do it across. So I'm sewing it so that like that's straight. And also too, I'm going to pay attention after I sew this on where the design of the button is with this line here. And again, I said I wanted to go across, right? So I'm going to do this and I'm going to meet it right where it was at. I'm taking this out. And my button's in place. That's all that matters. So I'm going to sew this on. And I'm going to do it tightly enough so it's on there, but kind of loosely enough so that I can wrap it around in the back. So I'm going to sew it twice in this direction. And then after, because that's twice, that'll hold it in place. Now I'm going to put it right here in this bottom hole. And we're going to do this twice. So that's 1. And this will be 2. So this button underneath was kind of wrapped around in the back. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to needle in right there. And I'm going to do that twice. And that will, I'm also going to move my thread around. That'll tighten it. And I'm going to cut it. That's all she wrote. Done. Ta-da! And then I'm going to take this out of here. Don't need to worry about that. And then again, to get a knot, I'm going to take it, move it around again. If your hands are a little dry, put a little saliva on there. 1 and 2. Or not, you know, you can just have a nice lotioned hand. Be more civilized than myself. Okay, so again, I went crossways, but when I went crossways, I went this way first. You want your buttons to match, so that's the direction I'm going to go for this one. So again, I'm going underneath the fabric, and I'm going to start at this bottom corner here because I'm going across this way. And again, in the middle, that's where the middle of my button needs to go. But also, which direction is my button design going? Let me see. It's kind of going towards, it's going towards my hand. Not this hand, this hand. It's going like this way. So when I sew this button on too, I also want it to be going in that direction as well. So I'll start down here and then, because I want it to go that way. So I want to do it like that, okay? So now we're going to come right here. We're going to tack it here, get rid of the pins, and we're going to sew this on twice again. Oops. Is that the direction I wanted to go? No. No, it sure is not. Okay, so if you have any issues along the way, like how I did, just cut off your knot, cut off your knot, take out the thread and everything. I still have the chalk in place, so I know where everything needs to go. Oops. Do this. Da, da, da. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna lay this out and get a better view of how I want this to go this time. There we go. Okay. Coming back here. I'm gonna put that in, so that's once, bam, right direction. Twice. Now we're gonna go in the other direction. Of once. And as we do the twice, we're going to wrap it around twice, okay? And then we're going to come in here and 1, and then on the second one, we're going to twist See, now we're getting to the minute amount. I'm going to twist this. Oh, shoot. To make sure to knot it. All right, we're going to do that instead. And that'll be it. It'll be held in place. And that's that. So yeah, there they are, the new button placements. You can kind of see where the old one was. You can always iron that out or kind of pull and tug to, pull and tug. To move the fibers if the fibers need to be moved around, but really pressing is a better way to go. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. That's another quick little video that everybody knows how to do, but to add my own little bit of knowledge to you. So take care, make sure to get some sun today, and I will talk to you later.